EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. And off we go from Las Vegas. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground to about the 33-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now. Now Geno. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4. Smith. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Throwing now is Geno. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DJ Wanham got off his spot quickly and got to the quarterback. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. On first down, they'll start out with Hubbard. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll try to throw now. Young. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing, Young. A throw left side, reeled in by the rookie wideout. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early. Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 40 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Young. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
They'll run a draw now with Hubbard. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Now Young. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, and I'll guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
4th down, Young. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. A give running right, it's Hubbard. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now 2nd and 3. Young to throw it. That caught by Tremble. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Defensively, maybe a little too fired up there for a 3rd down stop.
Remember in preseason when we were going to camps and watching people, they worked on this, right? In the heat of the summer, still did it anyway.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Looking to throw, Young. And he'll just get rid of it. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be first and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. Hubbard is in. Touchdown, Carolina. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, first and 10. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Geno now to throw. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. In motion goes the tight end. And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Here is Young. Open man left side. It's the tight end Trimble. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. They'll run here with Hubbard. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Chuba Hubbard with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Panthers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They've been outplayed early, no question, down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Myers. They'll give him 4 yards there. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Smith. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Carolina offense about ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Young will set to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On the counter, this is Hubbard. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Young. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Off of play action, here's Smith. They'll roll him out right. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So holding on the offense, they go ahead and decline the penalty, and the ball will change hands on the fumble recovery. To throw, Young. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead with Hubbard, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now 3rd down and 7. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. 3rd down, Young from the gun. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard to about the 48-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Right back to Hubbard. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Young to throw it. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Smith. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
2nd down and 3. Now it's Smith. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for them so far. That was a ball they needed to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 3rd catch. And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. To throw is Smith. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Play action. It's Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. And they'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. 83 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, Could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Second down, another chance for Hubbard. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Young. A short throw hauled in by Trimble. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
A give up the middle, Hubbard. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 6. In motion, the tight end. Second down, another chance for Hubbard. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On the handoff, it's Hubbard. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Young now from the 50. And he's got this down to the 35. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And that one too wide and incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now here's Young. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Panthers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. In motion left, that's Thielen. Young now. Toward the pylon, caught. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. To the air once more, Young. Dancing, and he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. One more go for this offense in the first half. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. The final shot here before break. Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a flag comes out as that is batted down and incomplete. But I think there was early contact. Let's check the call. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. On the give, this is Hubbard. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the 3rd quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said. That they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the 2nd half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
The tackle made by Landon Roberts.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call, because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
From the shotgun, it's Young. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Young from the shotgun. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the 2nd half. They can now afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Throwing is Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Geno. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Following the interception, Young. A short throw hauled in by Trimble. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Off the play fake, Young avoids him at the 5. And the Panthers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Young to throw it. Forced out to his left. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Bryce Young, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers take a 3-touchdown lead.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 8. Smith now to throw. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff running through the middle. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw, Smith. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 45-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. D.J. Waddle able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And the Panthers coming out now. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job is simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Young working out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. It's Hubbard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a run with Hubbard. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. They'll run with Hubbard. 40 to the 42. Who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. In motion goes the tight end. On play action, Young. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 33 yards that time.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
Throwing, Young. That one complete to Ligon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's Hubbard. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. In motion left goes a tight end. Now Young. That is caught. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On the ground, it's Hubbard. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Chuba Hubbard, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now here come the Raiders. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's Smith. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
From the gun, here's Smith. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Myers. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Geno now to throw. That one's complete out to Michael Mayer. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Play action. It's Smith. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
The ball placed just outside of the end zone as they come up again on another 3rd and goal. Now Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jacoby Myers from a yard out. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
135 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Show some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll run here with Hubbard. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Out of the gun, it's Young. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll give this to Hubbard running right. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you...
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. After the interception, here's Smith. Open man is Myers. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Smith. It's Myers again with another catch. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. To throw is Smith. A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Throwing again is Smith. Steps away to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. On 1st down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 156 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
To the 36-yard line, stop there.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll keep it on the ground. Hubbard. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
From the end zone, Smith. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds up past the 5. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Back to throw, Smith. That's to Bowers once again. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Again, Smith. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Smith. Throw out wide is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. A throw left sideline, falls incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And that's caught inside the 30. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease. Romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'll be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't they?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one didn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside